You're listening to Her Confidence Her Way Podcast, episode 203. Welcome to Her Confidence Her Way Podcast, a place to talk about creating your passion-driven work, leveling up your mindset, and living a purposeful life that you always wanted. Hey girlfriends, I am your host, Emiko Rasmussen. 15 plus years of corporate career woman turned into an entrepreneur who now coaches hundreds of Japanese working women, helping them to grow their passion and a side hustle with confidence. I will tell you the truth. There is no overnight success. I mean, if it is that easy, then everyone is having their dream life and a dream business already. If you're ready to do the hard work and show up 100%, let's hang out right here, right now. Hey girlfriends, how are you doing? I am so excited that you are here to listen to this episode. So thank you so much. And I, as usual, thank you. I know I say this all the time, but I really mean it. I really appreciate your time to take the time to listen to this episode. I wanted to tell you that I am super excited about the kitchen remodeling that we're doing. We have been wanting to do for forever, and we have been living in this new house. Well, it's not new anymore, but our house, I guess, for over 5 years. So we have decided that it's time to work on some facelift or makeup, you want to say. So yeah, we're doing the kitchen remodeling, and I have been sharing the progress of it via Instagram. So if you're not following my Instagram account, feel free to follow and see what is going on with our kitchen. It's almost done. Okay, before I move on to today's guest, I wanted to remind you, okay, see here, do you hear this? I wanted to remind you something. I have a free Facebook community. That's where I show up every Tuesday and do a Teaching Tuesday. I show up live and I give you free lessons of business and mindset. So if you're not part of Her Way Collective community, you gotta check it out. You can just look it up, Her Way Collective, or you can go to my Instagram account, EMIKORASMUSSEN, and then from there's a link in the bio, and you can find the group link as well. The community used to be called Her Confidence Her Way, but first, the community name is really long, but I have created this name. I've been holding on to this name for the longest time, and I finally say, yes, this is going to be an amazing name for this community and the brand that I'm creating. It is Her Way Collective. What does this mean? Her Way Collective っていうのは、コレクティブっていうのは集まりっていう意味なので、Her Way っていうのもこう略、私はそんなに翻訳とか得意じゃないけれども、Her Way、彼女のその生きる道っていうのもあるし、Her Way、彼女の方法、やり方っていうのもあって、私が本当にやってることはただ単に本当にビジネスオーナー、こう売れるビジネスを作るとか、起業家を育てるとかじゃなくて、人間としてこう本当にすでに惹かれてる道を生きるんじゃなくて、自分のこう生まれてきてこう持ってきたこのミッション、こうpurpose、目的があって、そこに向かってパッションを軸にこう自分で誰もまだ歩いていない道をこう切り開いていく、そういう女性を応援しているというか、そういう女性を育てています。だからもちろんビジネスのプログラムとかでももちろん戦略っていうのを教えます。because it's important, right? もちろん戦略っていうのは大切だけど、ほとんど本当にもうマインドセットとかその自分の自己成長っていうところなので、そこをすごく私は大切にしているんですね。で、その her way っていうのも本当にいろんな方法があって、別に他の人を真似する方法もなくて、他の人をフォローする必要もなくて、自分の本当に行きたい道に 行く You can step into your true path, right? 私はそこをすごく応援しているので、本当にいろんな女性の生き方で、このポッドキャストでも本当にいろんな女性の生き方を紹介しているので、本当にこの名前 Her Way Collective っていうのがすごいしっくりくるので、これから私のウェブサイトとかロゴとかでなんか、変わったものが見えてくるというか、変わってきて、でそれはその Her Way Collective っていう名前とかもどんどん出していって、私の実際のプログラムとかもすべて Her っていう名前がついてる。例えば Her Confidence, right? Her Confidence, Her Way. And then I have a business program. It is called Her Business Program. It's very simple. And I have another one that's coming up. It's Her Limitless Club. Her Limitless Club. これはもうすでにビジネスをやっていて、次のね、ネクストレベルに行きたい人だからもう6 figure。もうずっと時間の切り売りだけしてきて、全然こうビジネスも伸びないし、継続的にお金っていうのも入ってこない。全てビジネスは全てお金じゃないけれども、でもやっぱお金が入るか入らないかで、それがビジネスかホビーかっていうのが決まりますよね。なので、その今のビジネスのスケールアップをしたい。で、ネクストレベルの女性が集まる Her Limitless Life。制限なしに生きる女性の集まり。And I am planning on doing a Her Way Collective, some sort of membership.It's gonna come by the end of this month. I'm putting it out there. でこれも本当にこういろんな生き方をしている女性が集まる本当にメンバーシップみたいな場所で、月に1回ぐらいこうなんか集まる場所とか情報を交換するような場所みたいなコミュニティを作ろうと思ってて、でそれも多分おそらくこれは Her Way Collective Club みたいな感じでなると思います。So yeah, lots of exciting things coming up. So yeah, just make sure that you're following me on Instagram or signing up for my newsletter so that way you will not miss any news. Okay, are you ready for today's guest? Yes. Oh, today's conversation was so good too. I mean, everything, all the stories are all good. で、今日のゲストなんですけれども、今日はですね、フランスからですゲストをお迎えしています。で、彼女は自己愛コーチ、セルフラブコーチ、Vanessa。で、彼女は、ICU という、ブランドというか、なんていうの、プロジェクトを主催しています。で、彼女がすごく大切にしているところっていうのは、やっぱり自分を愛して自分らしく強く生きる女性たちをサポートするっていうところで、女性のオンラインコーチングスクールとかもやっています。で、彼女はフランス人なんだけれども、日本にもずっと住んでいたから、もちろんフランス語も喋れて、英語、今回ほとんど英語なんですけども、カンバセーションが。で、日本語ももう全然ペラペラ。っていうか多分私よりも上手だと思う。Yeah. So super excited to share our conversation. So yeah, please enjoy my conversation with Vanessa.Hi, Vanessa. Welcome to Her Confidence Her Way podcast. How are you doing today?
Hi, I'm doing very good. Thank you so much for having me.
Super excited to have you.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah. So we're just chatting and we're like, okay, we should start recording.
Yes.
So I get to know a little bit about you, but for my listeners, you know, some people may know already. Like I see some of the followers who are already following you, but just in case they don't know you, can you do a little intro?
Yes, of course. Hi, everyone. My name is Vanessa. I'm a self-love coach from France. I'm French, but I used to live in Japan. I lived 1 year in Tokyo and 2 years and a half in Kyoto, where I worked mainly as a translator and I did some interpretation and social media marketing. And so right now I'm doing a project, Instagram page called ICU, where I talk about self-love and women empowerment in both English and Japanese.
Yeah. So this is how I found you. I think I found you from, the ICU page first, and then jumped into your main page. Yeah. So we were talking about, all animes because my husband loves anime too. And so that was kind of the reason why you decided to come to Japan.
Yes. So when I was a little child, like many Japan lovers, I've watched anime on French TV, and it was like in the 90s. So it was like Sailor Moon and Dragon Ball Z.
Yeah.
And I didn't know, like when I was a child, I didn't know like what was Japan. I didn't know about the country. I was like 6 or something. But I loved the anime because the way the main character just was weak at the beginning, and then he or she like evolved and learned from their mistakes and made friends, along the way, and they became stronger together as a team. That was so new to me because the other animation in France or somewhere else, like the main character kind of never changes. So I really liked that concept. And when I grew older, I found out about, there is a country named Japan, and all the culture that I see in these animes come from this country. So I just got more interested in Japanese culture, and I learned a lot more about it. And then I just kept reading more manga and then Japanese drama and movies. And I went to Japan for the first time when I was 18.
Yeah.
On the trip, and it was love at first sight, I could say.
Oh my goodness, that is so cool. Yeah. Wow. Your parents were just fine? Like, were they worried or?
They were so worried. They were like, okay, you're not going to be an otaku your whole life. Grow up. Like, like loving Japan is not a job, girl. Like, you should focus on your studies and stuff. So, but I still loved Japan. And at the time, I was also listening to a lot of Japanese bands, like Visual Kei and stuff.
Oh, yeah.
So I really wanted to understand what they were saying in the interviews and in the songs. So I was really like passionate about learning Japanese, and I learned Japanese on the side because there was no Japanese studies in my hometown. Because it's a small hometown. So I go to university and I studied English studies and education, and just kept on studying Japanese on the side. And like I would do like part-time jobs to put money on the side. And like every summer or so, I would go to Japan for like a month.
Wow. You know what? Now I thought about it. So you know how I was telling you about the anime that my daughters love. It's called Miraculous Ladybug, and they do have a French version of it. I should let them watch in a different language so that maybe they will start learning the different language.
Yes. Like it's a good way to learn about other
culture and the languages too. Wow, that is so cool. And then from there to now what you do with self-love, how did that morph into this?
Yeah, okay. So when I was like at the same time as like the year I went to Japan for the first time, I actually became very sick. I had a lot of stomach issues, and they found out that I have Crohn's disease. In Japanese it's Crohnbyo. And it's a chronic illness, so like there is no real cure for it. You just have a treatment to like make it as like calm as possible. And I was so depressed when I was sick. Like I was so sick, I was throwing up a lot and going to the bathroom a lot. And like some days I had to stay at home, in my bed, and I felt really, really bad. And I was so depressed. And like for the first time in my life, I started wondering, wait, like if I'm gonna be sick for my whole life, I'm gonna be like unhappy for the rest of my life. So how can I actually become happy? How can I gain confidence? Because I was a very like shy kid. I never had confidence in my body, in my image, in myself. I hated how I looked. I was a bit overweight. I didn't know how to dress, etc. And then I started like reading books about self-development and and then I found out about self-love, and I was like, what is self-love? Like loving yourself, what is that? right? Because nobody teaches you that.
Yeah, you're
And
right.
yeah, and then from there I just kept learning and learning more about self-love, and I was like, oh my god, I wish everybody knew that, because it really helped me. I cured like my depression, and I started just living for myself and loving myself more. And it was so visible, like from the outside, people started telling me like I look so happy and I look so confident. And yeah, from there I was just living for myself, like, okay, my dream was to actually work in Japan, so I made that happen for me.
Yeah. It's like such a simple concept, like love yourself.
Yes.
But it's so hard to do. And
exactly.
no one teaches it. I mean, like, for example, like self-esteem, the word self-esteem, I've never heard of it until I literally started my own personal development journey too. But now with my daughter's school, they're already encouraging like parents to read those books about self-love and self-confidence, especially for girls, because they lose, you mentioned about the confidence. I think the study shows that the age of 7 or 8, that's when the girls started losing their confidence, like 7 or 8.
Oh my god,
that's so young.
That's so young. Exactly.
But I feel like I've lost it. That's when I started to like kind of like become more self-aware of how I look, and like, kind of compare myself to others. Like, oh, she's prettier than me, and oh, she wears pretty clothes, and
exactly,
it's just all that.
Yes, exactly. That's the age that people kind of start looking at us not as babies anymore, but more like girls. And as a girl, you should not be so loud. As a girl, you should like be pretty or something. Like people around you start saying that type of things that as a child you had never really thought about before. You were just too busy like playing and being loud.
I know.
And then suddenly you'd be like, oh, I have to be maybe cuter so that the boys will look at me,
Yeah. Is it like that? Like, for example, like Japan, as I was growing up, I struggled a lot, especially because I started to read a fashion magazine. And especially my face. So Japan is really huge on like having those like a Western look, like the bigger eyes, like even like when you take what you call it, the purikura, right?
Yes.
Purikura.
Oh my god!
Like all that face filter.
Yeah.
That makes your eyes so much bigger, and the skin color to be like whiter and all kinds.
Exactly. It's so bad for body image. Like,
I can't even imagine when you do take that picture, like your eyes are gonna be like a human.
Yeah, I look like an alien. This is it's not even human anymore.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, but they emphasize that, and my facial feature are way different. So when I started looking at magazines and realized I don't look like them, obviously, like they use the models, they're like half, I don't know, Caucasian or half something, Western.
Exactly.
So I was thinking like, okay, I'm not pretty because I don't have the double eyelid, 二重, right? 私は一重だから全然可愛くないんだ, or 私は一重だからなんか男の子にモテないんだ, or something like that. It's just so bad. And it started when I I think it was middle school age.
Yeah, it's the age that every Japanese girls like start going to purikura and hanging out with like all the girls and reading fashion magazines and comparing themselves. Yeah, like to be honest with you, I really hate the hafu look. Like I don't get it. Like in magazine when they do like makeup tutorials to look hafu, and I'm like, what does that even mean? Like,
I didn't realize.
Yeah, it's like being half is like DNA. It's not a choice. It's not a look. It's their identity. Like it makes Japanese girls feel like less, like they are not enough. And I hate that. I used to like be so admirative of like Japanese girls. I found them like so beautiful. I wanted to look like them at some point. When I was like in junior high and high school, I used to straighten my hair. You know, because I have curly hair and I used to hate my curls. And now everyone compliments my curls, but I used to hate that. And I wanted like the Japanese look, you know, like straight hair. And, you know, I think like the media is happy with how we're never satisfied with what we have. You know, and I really want to tell Japanese girls they're so beautiful the way they are. Oh my God. Like, you know, like
I didn't even think about it from the other side of the perspective. Like, oh, I wanted to look like Japanese, because I thought that everybody wanted to look like quote unquote
Western,
European, happy looking.
Yeah.
Interesting. So
yeah.
so then you started I See You.
Yes.
And so why don't we maybe talk about like what is it, and you know, why did you, I know you kind of started to mention about why you started to do this project. So yeah, let's go.
Yes. So when I was in Japan, I really wanted to talk more about self-love, right? Because in my job, I obviously couldn't talk about these topics. So I really wanted to talk about more about self-love, because it has helped me so much, you know. And I started a blog. So it was called I See You back then. And my blog was like bilingual. It was Japanese, English. And I was starting to make friends in Japan. And when I talked about self-love to my Japanese girlfriends, they were like, oh my God, like I had never heard of that. And there's not enough Japanese information, like information in Japanese about these subjects. Oh my God, Vanessa, you should do more with that. You should maybe post like more on it, do a YouTube channel or something, because it's very helping. And I was like, yeah. And then I thought, you know, there's already so much information out there in English, I think, about self-love, and that's amazing. But I thought there was not enough information in Japanese. And since I can kind of speak Japanese and write in Japanese, I thought I could use that for Japanese women and for Japanese people in general, if they want inspiration about self-love. And then I started, you know, posting on Instagram in English and Japanese, and it kind of started there. But then I realized that the main target that I really want to help was more women. So I changed a bit my discourse, and now it's more targeted to women. And I integrated feminism and women empowerment in there, because I thought for women to really love themselves, they also have to unlearn what they were taught to be, and as a girl. And so I was like, self-love and feminism definitely go hand in hand for me. That's why it's like the two main concepts for I See You. And so now I'm a self-love coach. So of course, like I really want to like create a platform for women to be like inspired to love themselves and like live their lives to the fullest, and a support system for them with I See You.
So I see the C, the English letter. It's not like I see you. Like, well, I mean, I'm pretty sure it's like you're using the word to play around with it, but like, why see the ocean sea?
Oh, thank you for asking. Okay, so I was reading a book about love and how to express love to other people, and when you tell someone I see you, like anata o miteru yo, it's as strong as saying I love you, like because you recognize, you acknowledge their existence, you acknowledge that they're here, you acknowledge their suffering or their problems or anything, you know. And I like the I see you thing. And then for me, the sea, because like I'm from the south of France, the sea has been such a soothing and like it's a place of hope and soothing for me. So I was like, I really want for ICU to be that place for Japanese women, like where they can feel understood and be heard. So yeah, that's why I took that name.
Oh, so beautiful.
Thank you.
I love it. Okay, so then we need this, like, we need someone who can teach this, because it's like the base. Like, if you can't even love yourself, but I feel like loving is coming, like, there should be like a before, there's like another step to it, right? I'm pretty sure you teach that, but it's more like you really understand who you are and like accepting who you are, and then then we can love, right? I used to call myself a self-confidence coach, hence why this podcast is called Her Confidence.
Love it.
Yeah, because like I noticed myself too that I was lacking my self-confidence, and that is also tie into the self-love and all those things. Yeah. So then you could have gone to a path of where you could teach this concept to women who are in your country, or people in English, but why Japanese? What do you see in Japanese women, about struggling? How are they struggling? Because I haven't lived in Japan for a while. So what do you see there?
Okay. So when I was living in Japan, of course, I had Japanese girlfriends, and we were, girl talk. We were talking about our lives and our romantic relationships and what was going on at work and stuff. And I was really shocked sometimes to hear some the things that they were going through. Of course, in France, it's not perfect at all. There is a lot of sexism still in France, but some of the things that I heard in Japan really saddened me, because I felt like no one was really being like a voice more for them, because it's still a very like a man world kind of, I felt like. And since like as a foreigner, I kind of have like an external point of view, of like things, and maybe I can use that to help them realize some things that they thought were atarimae, were like normal, and maybe help them realize that they can change that if they want to, and some things they don't have to accept, just because they're women. And they are just, I feel like, of course, I understand Japanese culture 100%, and the reason why I love Japanese culture so much is, of course, like the whole culture of respect and overall peace. But I also feel that maybe the individual sometimes is kind of lost in this like big peace, and individuality is not encouraged a lot. And so I feel like it's encouraged a bit to be to feel bad about yourself. You know what I mean? When someone in Japan loves themselves or compliments themselves, people are like, are you like are you like a narcissist?
How do you say it in Japanese? Narcissist.
Narcissisto?
Narcissist ね。そっかそっかそっか。Yeah, and I think they use, narcissist. Yeah, like English too, it's a little negative-ish, but the self-love is not that. I think みんな勘違いしてるとこが多分ある。
Yes. So like in Japanese, I'm trying to use 自己愛。but なんか心理学的に自己愛はちょっとナルシストという意味も入っていて、でも私はなんかわざと自己愛、なんかセルフラブという言葉もなんかたまに使ったりするんだけど、でも自己愛もわざと使う理由は、なんか自分をなんかナルシストという言葉と違うし、自分を愛することも別にわがままなことではない。なんかナルシストっていうのは自分がみんなよりいいという考え方。でも自己愛は私もみんなと同じように価値がある人間であるという考え方なの。
OK。それすごい。
Yeah, maybe it becomes easier to understand when you just simply explain it. Yeah, and a narcissistic person thinks that they're better
I
than
don't think
other people.
no one explained to me like that. That was
Oh,
so good. So
よ
good.
かった。
Yeah. 確かに。So then, なんだろう、what are the Japanese words that you hear? なんていうの、こう、日本人の女性の、こう、なんか、ふとしたこういう言葉とか、なんか、have you noticed, like, wait, why did you say that to yourself? みたいな、そういう気づいたことある。
Okay. 一番聞くのは多分、痩せなきゃとか。私、痩せなきゃ。Why? You're like, you're perfect, like in your body. You're slim, you're beautiful. Like, you're not even like overweight, you know what I mean? But
I think it's
they have such a pressure on their weight.
Magazine. You know, like fashion magazines. Have you noticed the back? Yeah. I don't know about now, but when I was reading, that's, you know, when I was 20 something, so like 10 years ago. The fashion magazines なんていうのこの後ろの部分のコマーシャルの it's like a commercial and
before after みたいな
そうなんか脱毛今日なんていうのこれthe breast enhancement I don't know I forget how to say it in Japanese the boob jobs and the diet right
yes
そればっかりだった。and then 整形 like that 二重の that
surgery eyelid surgery
that's like a chunk of it I remember 私も留学した時に I was showing the fashion magazines to like my roommates and then they were you know reaching to the end and they're like wait is this the before after and then I said yeah hey, why so the first thing they asked me was why do they have to shave their arms that's what they told like asked me like wait だって腕の毛剃るんじゃないの like I didn't know that you know American people not very many people they don't shave and then the other thing was like before and after and they're like wait but she's not even overweight like 全然彼女太ってないじゃんなんでダイエットするのみたいなことを言った時にそうなのみたいな体重50キロって太ってんじゃないのみたいななんかそう意味わかんないと思った
Yes when I was 20 or something I was so into Japanese fashion tooなんか最初は原宿ファッションとか好きだったんだけど、でもその後どんどんなんかギャルファッションとかもうすごい好きだった時期があってでその時にそういう
ギャルファッションっていつ、何年代 ?21 ギャルファッションだって私が10代の時ギャルファッションだったけどその後ギャルファッションってあった
あった2012年とか、2012年の時とか。
Wow.
And so I was checking these magazines a lot, and now that I think about it, it was really shocking how they put the before after because the before she's perfectly like skinny already, and like the after. Now that I think about it, I realized with my friends that there was a lot of Photoshop too involved.
Oh yeah.
You could see that. The arms and like the waist wasn't natural at all. And I was like, oh my God, this is so bad for body image. Nobody can look like that.
No.
And even if you look like that, it might be unhealthy compared to your age. And you know, I was like, oh my God, this is very bad. So
So 痩せなきゃ what are
痩せなきゃ
他には何かある思いつくもの on top of your head?
Yeah, for example, モテない like
well, I struggle with that too.
男性受けが悪いとか。I was like, what? What do you mean? Which 男性 like 誰
わかる。なんかさ、水着とか、あと私も、着物、日本の浴衣の色って、なんかどの色にしようかなと思って、なんかうちの母親が買ってきてくれるって、アメリカに住んでる時に買ってきてくれるっていうから、浴衣の、なんていうんだろう、こう、いろんな色見たかったから、サーチしたら、 男受けする浴衣のトップ10みたいなの着て。Wait, what?
あるある。そう、メイクとかもね、服とか、なんか、それも、なんか、どういうことなんか、なんか好きな男性にモテたいのはわかるよ。すごく。でもなんかみんなすべての男性にモテるのはなんかもう、なんか疲れるんじゃない
なんか、well, I guess I'm married, so I really don't care about it. But
yeah, like 自分らしくいた方が、本当にありのままの自分が好きになる男性が現れてくるから。
そこね。Such a good point.
Yeah, like, do you want to be loved by anyone or do you want to be loved by the one guy that is for you?
That you care the most. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So good.
Yeah, just like, yeah, I was talking so much with my girlfriends in cafes in Kyoto. And
Yeah.
Yeah, and like I work too. They were told to wear makeup. No, sometimes in the morning, maybe they were tired and didn't have time to put makeup on. They told me that their boss or superiors told them that they look very tired and sick. And when they just said that they didn't have time to just put makeup on, their boss would say, but like, マーナだから今度はメイクしてくださいみたいな。I was like, what? But do men do makeup though? Like, like the other salarymen look sick and tired too, but nobody tells them anything.
Yeah, like some men, they don't even shave either.
Exactly.
Or like the bedhead, you know?
Exactly.
But for women, it's bad. Like, why?
Exactly. So I'm so glad that recently there was a campaign for kutsu.
Oh, yeah. High heel, right?
Yeah, for the heels, because it was so unfair.
Which company was it? I think it was a Japan airline or something, right?
Okay.
そう、フライトアテンダントの人も、like they're allowing lower heels or maybe even flats. Especially, yeah, it's funny. One thing that I noticed, so I was working here in the US and then I went back to Japan, right? And then I was like more like an American style where when I'm commuting, like 満員電車とか乗るのは、ハイヒールなんて絶対階段もあるから、絶対無理っていうか、もう履く気もなくって、私は普通にスニーカーズで通勤していて、で、when I get to the office, right? And then I switch to heels. Because I thought that I have to do it. But then actually, many people from my company that I used to work, they used to actually change to, なんていうのかな、ナースのスリッパ知ってる? It's like a flat. Do you know what I'm talking about? Like many of the nurses, they wear like a room slippers. なんか、そう、スリッパみたいなので、like people in my office, they used to switch it. And then when they're going home, then they wear heels again. And I was like, wait, what? Why?
Yeah.
So yeah, I thought it's like a cultural shock to me because I didn't know they do that. But I assume that many of the companies are still asking to wear heels. So that's crazy.
Yes.
Yeah. So that's good. Yeah. And then so other things that you were talking about, you talk about 女性の自立, right? You talk about a lot about 女性の自立とか幸せ。で、女性の自立に必要なマインドセット, right? So, そのマインドセットは I'm huge in mindset too. So like I'm super excited to talk about this, but what is it and like how can we build that?
Okay, so to me, to be independent means that you don't rely on other people. And it's not only like materially, it's not only money, but it also like thoughts and like approval. So you know your worth, you know that your worth is high, you know that you deserve to be happy. And it's also knowing that you have the power to do anything. You have the power. And like you trust, like for me, an independent woman, she trusts in her ability to be free and to live the life that she wants, you know, and she believes in her beauty and that she deserves the best, you know. So 自立してる女性はこうお金的にだけじゃなくて、 こう、人に認められなくていいという自由さを持っている人。だから自分が価値があるし、自分に力があるから、自分の人生ではなんか何でもできる。私にはやりたいことはできるっていう自信がなんか自立なんじゃないかなと私は思う。
I love it. Especially, like, ね、男に、なんだっけ、男性に受けるとか好かれるみたいなこと、ね、今話してたけど、we don't need to do that.
Yes.
Yeah.
なんか男性に可愛いって思われなくていいっていう余裕。
いや。
なんか自分が可愛いから別にどう思われようが関係ないというのはすごい自立、なんか感情的な自立だと私はなんか言ったりする。
Yeah. Yes, so important. Yeah.
Yes.
What else? Do you have any others?
Of course, money. Money, like everyone says that money doesn't buy our happiness, but I think it does buy you a certain peace of mind. And especially for women, when they are financially independent, you can feel that they feel a lot better about themselves and their life. They feel that they have the power and the freedom to do whatever they want. They're not like relying on someone else, because you never know what happens, you know, even if you had an agreement, for example, with your partner, and you decided that he's gonna work and you're going to just stay home, for example. I think it's beautiful, like if you agree on that. But you never know what happens. So I think it's still a good idea to have maybe a side hustle. I know that you talk about a lot about side hustle. So I think that's really like important for women, and just put money on the side for yourself just in case, you know. So even if you just want to buy something for yourself, so you don't have to depend on anybody. You just can do anything you want.
Yeah, I love it. I think it's so fun. Well, not like funny, but like the way how you teach is, self-love, right? But like for me, I'm a business and mindset coach. But what I teach is not necessarily how to make money or how to build a business. Like I am more like, my approach is really focusing on the inner word, because I always talk about mindset is 80% and 20% is a strategy.
Exactly.
Yeah. And the first, like before you even start a business, you have to be able to love yourself, and you have to be able to know that, it is okay to believe yourself, like to have a big vision, and it's okay to have money. Like I think so many women shy away from talking about money, or women shouldn't be making more money than men. And I think I read it somewhere, I forget, but like モテない、モテない女のなんとかなんとか、right? Like, of course, they have that. And then, like, one of the top thing was the woman is independent. What the heck is this? Or like woman with making money. And that's like a society is discouraging us to make less money.
Yes. Because if we don't have money, it's easier to control us. And men want to still be able to control us. That's a fact. So
that's why I'm actually really passionate about, not so much on like how to become a businesswoman and blah, but like I'm totally the like opposite. Like I don't necessarily focus on like, let's gain a lot of followers. Like that's also like another thing, like, like, yes, we do need followers, but not necessarily on followers. Like we want someone who really care about what you teach and what your value, so that you can share, right? It's not about numbers. So like so many things that we kind of なんていうのかな、こう、重なるところがある, right? It's like, Oh, I love it. Oh my goodness. Like we could talk about this forever. But I also want to ask you, what is next for you? Like, what are you excited about? And like, how is this ICU project going to? Tell us.
Okay, so I want to build obviously a company with ICU. I really want to make it my full-time job, so that I can just focus my whole energy on inspiring and supporting women. So I really want to build a platform And just for now, I'm working on like online coaching program for ICU, and maybe a monthly support group for women. If they don't have like the money for the whole like overall coaching program, maybe they can participate in the just monthly subscription, where they can have the support of other women and focus on goal setting like every month, and learn every month on a different subject. Basically that's what I'm working on.
How cool. And maybe possibly travel more often to Japan too, right?
Yes, like I was supposed to, like my plan was to go back to Japan this year for like an event, to like make an ICU event with girls and talk about like self-love and women empowerment. But like with the COVID for now, I don't know if I can make it this year. I don't know.
Yeah.
But obviously,
but with the gift, we can do it online too.
Yes, exactly. So I'm thinking about doing more
traveling.
Yes, exactly. So I'm just like, it's going to happen no matter what. I just don't know exactly when, but for sure with ICU, I want to go back and forth between Japan and France.
Yeah. Or maybe you can do like a retreat in France.
Yeah. Oh my God. Yeah. Actually, I wanted to do like a retreat in Okinawa or something. Like with girls and stuff. But in France, I think a lot of girls would be interested. I think maybe a retreat in France. Yeah. Thanks for the idea. I didn't think about it.
Yeah, I think it's, and then also, the language too. Like it's so funny. Like I wouldn't mind traveling if the country speaks English. But then I get scared because especially France, I hear like if you speak English, like some people don't like Americans or something. Like maybe political reason, whatever, but we don't really talk about this here. But I heard that. I was like, ooh, maybe I should just use Japanese instead of English.
I think it's more coming from French people not being able to speak English, so they pretend that they don't like English, but it's just that they can't speak. But like young people usually kind of know a bit of English here and there, so they don't mind. It's more like just maybe don't ask older people.
The older people. So, but like having someone who can speak the local language, that's like it's huge. Because I would be scared of going there not knowing the language.
And I would love to like take people on tours in France and stuff. Like,
that would be so fun. Oh my gosh. Another project I'm throwing at you.
Especially like the south of France. Like I think a lot of my Japanese friends go to Paris and stuff. They kind of know Paris, but they're a bit scared maybe to go explore the south of France and other cities by themselves. So I could do that. I could do like a self-love retreat in the south of France.
Yes. Oh my gosh. And then also just wanted to make sure you do this in Japanese or how 日本語と英語を混ぜてこういうディスカッションとかマントリーミーティングなんていうのこれね、月1回のミーティングとかは日本語またはこう英語と日本語を混ぜてような感じ？
今のところは基本的に日本語がメインです。
で、もうリスナーの方もわかると思うんですけども、like Vanessa speaks Japanese だからね、もしも英語があってね悩んでる人でも大丈夫。
大丈夫です。日本語でも全然大丈夫です。
すごいでも本当に日本語話して英語話してフランス語 so cool。
ありがとうございます。
じゃあ、そんなバネッサにHer Confidence, Her Way Power Questions を聞きたいと思います。Are you ready?
Yes.
Okay, let's go. First question, how would you define your own self-confidence and how are you building your own?
Okay, to me, self-confidence is knowing that you deserve what's best. You deserve kindness, you deserve compliments, you deserve to achieve your dreams, you deserve to feel beautiful. And I build my own self-confidence by unlearning all the things that I've been taught, that I need to be like a good person, I need to do that, I need to have kids, blah, blah, blah. And I need to unlearn that and learned that I'm enough. I'm beautiful the way I am, and it's okay to be imperfect, and I still deserve what's best for me, and I'm still worthy no matter what.
Yeah. Oh, I love it. I love it. It's so cute. My how the 7 years old daughter. She said because I say things like, you don't always have to, like, you don't have to have perfect score. You don't you don't have to be perfect. And then my older one got a test result, and then she got A on 100% on the math, and then she got her writing. I think she got C or something, but I didn't get upset or anything. And the first thing my little one said was, "It's okay. You don't have to be perfect." That's what she said. It's like, oh my
That's so sweet.
Yeah. And then I try to compliment something about, it's not about good job on getting an A, but I try to make a point of saying, like, I'm so proud of you, sticking to it, and, just to complete all the assignments, or I appreciate you, taking the time to take this test, and then giving 100% effort towards taking the test, so that because my love is not dependent upon the grade, So like it's so hard. Like I want to say, like, wait, what's up with the C? I want to say that, but like instead of saying that, first I acknowledge the fact that she did the test, and I am so proud of her.
Yeah. So, oh my God, they're so lucky to have you as a mom.
Oh, well, I'm not perfect all the time.
Of course.
I say things like, I never said that to my kids.
Of course, nobody's perfect.
Yeah,
but still,
I'm aware.
Yeah.
It's
but, amazing.
I'm telling myself I'm enough, and I don't have to be perfect. I'm learning and I'm growing. So,
exactly.
Yeah.
That's so inspiring for your daughters.
Yeah, thank you. Okay, so then let's focus on you. What was your limiting beliefs, and how did you overcome it?
Okay, oh my God, I had so many limiting beliefs. But the biggest one was probably that the belief that I had to live according to, like, my parents' or society's expectations. And like I had to be like a good daughter, or like a good girl. But then I realized that I wasn't happy, like just living according to everyone's expectation, and that my parents and my friends would be happy that I am happy, at the end of the day. So when I started living my own life and just doing what I wanted to do, and for example, my parents saw that I was happy the way I am, they ended up being proud of me anyway. And I just got rid of the guilt and the need to be a good girl.
When you say good girl, like, do you mean like what is your definition about good girl? Is that like for example, for Asian women or kids, I think like having a good grade and going to a good school and having a good job. Is it the same thing for you too, or something else? Okay.
Yes, basically just studying to be a lawyer or a doctor or a teacher, I don't know. And then getting married at 25 and having kids before 30.
Before 30.
Basically that. And dressing a certain way, not putting too much makeup on, something like that.
I mean, like, I understand as a moms, we just want to make sure that, kids are safe. But sometimes that turned into, I don't know, like, it's not overprotective, but like our job is to protect our kids. And I think sometimes it's like being a mom, you tend to say like, oh no, you can't do that.
I can imagine.
Yeah, but why? I'm like, just because. I don't know. I don't have a reason. Yeah, I get it. That's so good. Okay, so then I think I know what you're gonna say, but what is your passion?
My passion is probably self-love and women empowerment, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, I also love rap music and reggaeton.
All right. I love that too. Awesome. And maybe a little bit of anime too, or not really?
Yes, I love anime, of course.
Yeah.
Yes.
We're talking about like Naruto and then
Yes.
Nana. Right?
Yes. Nana is my favorite manga ever.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure some of the listeners are reading manga too. So,
Yes.
yeah. Okay, so then my last power questions is what is your limitless life look like?
Probably me being like an inspiration for others to live their life to the fullest and to love themselves, and especially women and girls. Maybe like if I can do that while still taking care of my health and like living a healthy lifestyle surrounded by supportive people.
Yeah.
And yeah, that would be like my limitless, like perfect life.
Girl, you're firing me up. Oh, so good. Okay. All right. So the last question, last question, I promise.
Yes.
What would you like to say to women who are listening to this podcast who are ready to take the next step to create their passion-driven work or passion-driven life? What do you want to tell them?
Okay, I know as women, society and people around us like to make us feel like maybe we don't have the power in us. But if you have doubts about like what you're passionate about or like a project that you want to do, please trust me when I say you do have the power in you already. Yeah. Like you just need to unleash it and get rid of the fear and the guilt and all expectation. Like you can do anything like your heart desires. You're a badass. Stop thinking too much and just do it, because you learn a lot and gain more confidence as you go. So just do it.
Yes. So the word like badass and the word be or queen or what are the other
I'm all about that
you're using? Yeah. So then like or like even like unleashing. Like I love those words, but 日本語だとこれって結構 translate しにくくない？
しにくいですね、本当に。
ねえ、バランスってね、本もあるんだけども、The Jen Central, yeah, she wrote that book. I think they wrote, they did the Japanese translation differently.
I think it's you're a badass, 自分のために生きていい or something like that.
Yeah, but it's like kind of different.
Yeah, it's not the same connotation.
多分日本語でそれに合う表現の仕方がないのかな。
存在してないと思う。
してないよね、これね、絶対。
なんか作っていきたいよね、逆に。
そう、使っていきたい、本当に。あとなんかクイーンもそう。なんかこの前ね、あれこっちだったっけ、どっかね、ICU の方だったっけ投稿であったけど、なんかクイーンってその英語だとなんかわかるんだけど、日本語にするとなんかちょっと違うのかなとか思ったりとか。
Yes, 女王様をだ
ってさ、それってなんか勘違いされる人とかいない？多分日本の文化でなんか
いると思うけど、なんか ICU をフォローしてくれてる人たちの中で結構、そういうクイーンとか英語は、できる人もいるから多分出てると思うけど、でもなんかどんどんそういうニュアンスもちょっと説明していきたいなと。
本当にぜひぜひしてほしい。なんかプリンセスじゃなくてクイーンなんだよね。
日本は
お姫様が好きなの。そこ。お姫様は頼ってるの。It's all the Disney stories, right?
いつもなんか助けられてる。
いや、そう。でね、あれね、ちょっとすごいごめん、話外れちゃうけど、Sugar Lash だっけ？ No, it's not the Sugar Lash. It's the second. Have you ever seen the movie? It's called Ralph Breaks the Internet.
No, I haven't.
Okay, you should watch it. It's so funny. So, Ralph Breaks Internet で、そう、シュガーラッシュって、ディズニーの映画なんだけども、そこの一部で、ベネロピっていう女の子が、こうなんかプリンセスのところに迷い込んじゃうシーンがあるんだけれども、そこで、なんか、 彼女らが聞いて、なんか、Are you a princess? みたいなことを聞いて、で、one of the question was, are you saved by a big man? And then Vanellope said, yes, what's up with that? Oh, she is a princess. Like, it's a joke. It's a joke. But I think Disney is also recognizing, like, okay, like, we need to switch the message, right?
Oh my God, it's amazing.
Yeah. So like because I have two girls, so I always like pay attention to all the messages. So nowadays, even Disney's, they don't make princess like a princess before. They don't come with the dress. Or
yes.
they don't rely on man. Like the princess are the one who's saving the kingdom, their kingdom. So now they become a queen. It's like that. Even Disney, the live version of Aladdin, it's the same thing. At the end of the story, they changed it. They changed to be Jasmine to become the sultan.
Oh, cool! Yeah, I haven't watched it. That's awesome.
Yeah,
that's so also why I loved Frozen. Like a lot of people made fun of Frozen because of Let It Go or something, but I love that at the end, like the big guy doesn't even like save them, like the two sisters save each other, kind of.
Yeah, and then the love is between the sisters' love.
It's not about romantic love, it's about sisterhood. I love that.
So I think I'm hoping that many women realize, like, you don't have to be princess, like you can be a queen. Take that
exactly
seat.
Exactly, you have your empire. Build your empire.
I love it. I don't even know how to say that in Japanese.
Exactly. It's so hard to translate it.
Yeah. でもまあそのニュアンスをね説明すれば多分分かってくれると思う。Okay. Well, I talked a lot. I'm sorry. Like, I get fired up about this
topic. Don't apologize. It was so fun.
Yeah, it was so fun. Well, thank you. So where can the listeners follow you or find you?
Okay, so they can follow me on Instagram. My personal Instagram is Vanessa_KTB, and or ICU's page where you can find a self-love and women empowerment inspiration. It's ICU_IG.
Okay, perfect. And then you also have a podcast.
Yes, I have a podcast. It's called Mezame Cafe. I do it with my bestie, Mizuki, and we talk about health and how to live your life as yourself. 自分らしくいることとか健康のこととかについて日本語で話しています。It's on Spotify and Apple Podcasts mainly. You can 目覚めカフェで検索したら出てきます。
And I love how you're using the eyes.
Like 目が覚めるみたいな。
目覚め。So many different meaning that can go into this.
Yes, exactly.
Well, Vanessa, thank you so much for your time and everything. It was so much fun.
Me too. Thank you so much for having me on your podcast. I hope it was inspiring to your audience.
Oh, thank you. And I hope you're going to have a wonderful day today.
Thank you. You too. And everyone listening to this. 皆さん頑張ってくださいね。
ありがとうございます。さようなら。
さようなら。
There you have it. I hope you had enjoyed my conversation with Vanessa. How was it? It was so much fun. And I really realized that I love this topic. で、ずっと私のことをフォローしていただいている方は知ってると思うんですけども、私は、このエピソードでもね、このインタビューでも少しお話ししたんですけども、初め、私がこの5年前になるんですけども、ビジネスを始めた時は自分はそのセルフコンフィデンスコーチとして始めたんですね。で、なんでかっていうと私は本当にその自信のところ、自分の自信っていうところですごい私には自信がなくて全くなんかうまくいかない物事がうまくいかなかった。でもその自信をつけるっていうことはなんかもちろんそのいろんな行動をねして自信っていうのもついていくんだけれども、まずその前にステップがあって、そこっていうのがそのセルフラブとかセルフアクセプタンス、自分のことを受け入れて、自分のことをしっかりと理解して受け入れて、でそれがあってアイスで、I think I have another step. It's like let go and release, right? Appreciate, let go, release. でそこで初めてセルフラブっていうことができるんだと思うんですよね。っていうか、私はそれをやってきました。だからなんだろうな、5年前とかってそのセルフコンフィデンスとかそのセルフラブ、セルフエスティームとかってあんまり実は日本ではもちろん教えてる人は教えていたけど、そこまで今ほど実は教えてる人がいなくて、でセルフコンフィデンスとかって言っても全然通じないんだなみたいな感じで、それでちょっと私は方向を切り替えてキャリアコーチングみたいな感じでやっていて、でも結局、キャリアコーチングをやっていたけれども、結局その一番初めのとこはその何の仕事をするとかどういうことが好きっていう前に、やっぱ結局は自分を理解して自分を大切にしてあげるっていう、そこから私も教えてるんですね。そのギフトタレント、あなたのギフトタレント、自分のユニークなタレントってなんだとか、そういうところから本当に入っていったので、やっぱ私のコア、すっごいやっぱそのコア、芯、ファウンデーション、本当に軸っていうところはやっぱその本当に自分を大切にする。で、自分がそこで自分を愛することで I am enough って思えるんですよね。だから I'm enough と思えていない人、いや、コーチいつも I'm enough, I'm enough, you're enough, you're enough って言ってるけど、全然私 I'm enough なんて思えないと思ってる方は、そのステップがやっぱりまだ、そのね、first step, second step っていうのがあって、そこにまだ全然行っていない、通っていないと思うんですよ。で、一番自分と向き合うのが一番めんどくさいし嫌だし、いや他の人のこともっと助けなきゃとか、子供がなんとかとか、学校の宿題がとか、仕事がとかで絶対後回しにするんですよ。だからセルフケアっていうのも本当にそうで、セルフケアってなんか簡単そうだけど、別になんかただ単にその美容院に行って髪の毛切ってとかマニキュアとかしたりスパに行ってとか、そういうもちろんそれも it's a part of it, right? でもセルフケアってもっとそういうとこじゃなくて、本当に自分をケアするっていうところでは自分と向き合う時間を作る、それも本当にセルフケアの一部なんですね。だから全然簡単じゃないんですよ。もうこれは本当にインテンション、本当に意図的に時間を作って、これはもうやらなきゃいけない。だから、なんて言うんだろうな。そう。ただ単にぼーっとして人生流すように生きていても、これはできないっていうのがあります。そう。だからやっぱこういう私カンバセーションも本当に大好きで、で、今は私は、その、制限、ね、心とか、マインドとか、行動とか、お金のね、制限、って皆さんあると思うんですよ。で、特に私は今もうキャリアの方は結構もう卒業してるんですね。もう自分もやっぱキャリアの方から離れていってるので、で今はビジネスの方にフォーカスしていて、でビジネスを始める人、それとももうすでにやってる人も、新しいやっぱり一回壁って壊しても、また次のネクストレベルにはネクストレベル、ネクストレベルって言うんですけども、次のねまた壁もできるし、今度はね upper limiting belief っていうアッパーリミットっていうのも出てくるんです。これは話すともうね長くなっちゃうんで、ちょっと今日は話せないけれども、いろいろね本当にそういうのがあって、それで自分が結局制限をしてしまう。だから私はこの新しいねプログラムで Her Limitless Club っていうのでは、もうすでにビジネスをやっていて、次のネクストレベル、ビジネスのスケールアップしたい人、のために、そういう次のレベルにいけるように助けてあげるっていうね、そういうプログラムも始めました。だからもう本当にher way、自分のね道を生きていて、すごくそれに自信を持って I'm so proud of myself because I'm enough って本当に思ってもらえる女性を育てていきたいっていうのは本当にそこなんですね。だからもう本当に今日のカンバセーションも、彼女は、私もバネッサも同じミッションというか思いを持っていて、彼女はそれを自己愛、セルフラブコーチとして助けている、サポートしている。で、私はビジネスで女性の制限なく生きるっていうアバンダンスライフ、ね、たっぷりもう本当に豊かな生き方で、これは別にお金持ちとかそういうことじゃなくて、 That's part of it、 wealth もそうだけれども、マインドもそうだし、チョイスっていうところもそうだし、そういう生き方をサポートしていくので、本当にそのやり方は違うけれども、お互いこういうなんか同じミッションを目指してるっていうのはすごくいいなっていうふうに思います。 Okay, that is all for today. So make sure you are following Vanessa, and I think we're going to be doing some collaboration as well, so I'm super excited. All right, that is all for today. Remember, you are already enough, and the only person who's limiting your life is none of the other than you, yourself, because you're the one who's telling yourself mean things. Oh, I don't know, like Vanessa said, I'm too fat. I am too stupid. I don't have enough experience. I don't have this and I don't have that. You're focusing on all the things that you don't have. What about the things that you already have? Have you ever took the time to really get to know you? Probably not. So today, I'm going to challenge yourself to really take some time, even if it's 10 minutes. I want you to really sit down, look at yourself in the mirror, and really appreciate you, your hair, your skin, your eyes, the shape of eyes, your body, anything. Appreciate who you are, because guess what? You are so lucky that you get to be you. No one can be you. And the fact that you are waking up and being yourself and being able to show up as yourself, that is a miracle. What a gift. So remember that. Have a wonderful day. Bye-bye.